Hello everyone, my name's Kristen and this is Learning with Dogs. Today we're going to talk about treats and how various terms I'll use throughout training and how we use those treats to get our dogs to do lots of different behaviors. So the first thing I do is load my treat bag. I highly recommend getting some sort of a treat bag that's easy to clip on and off, and if it holds 2 compartments, that's ideal, so we can have one. About 80% of the treats we feed our puppies is just their dog food, their kibble. So I will use about 80% of the treats as their dog food, and then I use a high value treat. A high value treat is something that your puppy doesn't typically get, something that your puppy's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I need to eat that right now. So we also want it to be kind of a little bit longer lasting. We don't want it to disappear super fast, or our puppies will get an upset stomach from eating too many of the high value treats. So most of the food, the reason we want to use mostly their food right now is because it's easier on their stomach when they're doing a lot of training. If you think of the treats as kind of like a dessert snack, we don't want to do too many of those. Most of their food and nutrition is coming from their kibble. So when I talk about treats, I will use terms. One of them is called giving your puppy a jackpot. So if we give our puppy a jackpot of treats, we're going to give them several treats in a row. We get really happy with them, and if she did something fabulous, we're going to do that. We'll give them several treats in a row just like this, and we just say, you're such a good girl, that's such a good girl. Let's say maybe she was having a hard time doing a sit, and so she finally was able to do it, and I give her a jackpot of lots of pieces of food at a time. So that might be about 4 or 5 pieces, just to keep them really knowing that they made a really good choice. Another thing I'll do is what I call bait and switch. So I will hold the treat in my pinky, the high value treat in my pinky, and then I can roll the treats out with my fingers to feed the puppy off the edge of my finger. I kind of let them drag their teeth almost off the edge of my finger. Ideally, they're not using their teeth, but I know there are some puppies that are a little bit more rough with their taking treats. So this is a good way to protect your hand so that you don't get bit if you have a more of a fist. The other thing that helps when you go to feed your puppy the treat is to just stop them with the back of your hand. So when we go to give them the treat, come here, little one. Olive. Good girl. I think it's her nap time right now. So I go to if she's approaching me quickly, I stop, just hold my hand perfectly still. She would approach the back of my hand and then relax. I won't give her the treat until she gets away from my hand. Then I say good, and I would feed her the treat. So you want to make sure that you're not rewarding your puppy if they're using their mouth and their teeth too rough on you. So the bait and switch is a great way to get your puppy excited about the high value treat if we're starting to train a harder behavior, but we want them to be able to not eat so many of those high value treats. So their brains smell that really good treat and they eat the kibble, and it kind of tricks them into thinking they're eating the better food. So it's amazing. You'll see their performance change when you do the bait and switch. You notice how I'm holding one treat and able to roll one of these little pieces of kibble out of my hand at a time. I recommend doing a little game with everybody in your family to get your hands ready for the fine motor skills of being able to roll the treats out of your hand. As you're doing training, you'll find there's times that you'll slip and drop a treat, and the more often you drop the treat, the more your dog becomes obsessed with the food on the ground. So we want to try to keep the treats in our hand. If you find you're dropping treats often, there's nothing wrong with leaving the treats in your treat bag. You engage with your puppy when they do the behavior you want, or you hold one treat at a time. So we can just show them that we have one piece of kibble or the high value treat that they can just have a lick of. So that'll help you get the dexterity to work with your treats in a less spilling manner. So the way you can set up your little game with your family and anybody that's going to participate in training your puppy, you grab a few treats in your hand, pieces of kibble. Hold on, little one. You'll hold out a cup. I'm gonna use my hand right now, but you'll hold the cup on the table, and you're going to set a timer and roll one treat at a time out of your hand into the cup and drop it. This will help you build up those fine motor skills to be able to roll these treats out. I make it look really easy because I've done this for so long, but it actually is pretty hard to get your hands to do this. So again, if you're having difficulty with this, don't get held up on it. You don't need to be able to do this. It's nice because you have it kind of loaded and you can feed treats a lot faster, but you don't have to worry about it. The puppy can wait a few seconds if you need to reach into your treat bag, grab a treat, and then give it to them. I look forward to doing lots more training with you as we continue the journey of training your puppy. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again on Learning with Dogs.